I want both of you. I don't want to choose. I'm sorry, what? Like, this dude was a narcissist. He was packing up his storage unit. Like, he was moving in with Tupac and Biggie. My car is slowly going into the intersection. Bro, like, you are not taking that shit. Like, put that fucking shit down. Like, then I'm not gonna be able to find a place to live. I spent my money on when you have my money in your fucking pocket. Good morning. Today's video is gonna be a story time. I actually did it on TikTok recently and everybody loved it, so I'm gonna do it over here. Yes, a story time, Stinky. Also, what are these literal devil horns that I have for baby hairs? Do y'all see that? It's like literal devil horns. Anyway, what the fuck? Today's story time is gonna be how I dated an actual inmate from the show 60 Days In, and he stole all my money. Fun stuff. I know, Stinky is so fun. Okay, let's just get into it. Obviously, I'm gonna be doing my makeup, skincare as usual. So I was watching the show 60 Days In. I'm pretty sure it was season 5. And I thought one of the inmates was really cute. Isn't that how it always starts? So as I'm watching, I realized that this show is being filmed, or this season is being filmed in Arizona. So I was like, okay, where is it being filmed? I gotta figure out all the details, you know what I mean? So I discovered that the show is being filmed in Florence. I actually thought it was in Payson, but TikTok corrected me. You know they did. So the show is actually filmed in Florence, Arizona, but this dude was from Payson. So that's why I thought it was filmed in Payson. His name is obviously showed on the show, so I already knew his name. All I had to do was do like a quick Google search and I was able to find him on Instagram. And my little fucking thought T ass followed this dude, this random inmate from 60 Days In, on Instagram. I really didn't think anything would come of it. Like, I thought it was just a little kiki for me and my friends, you know, but he followed me back and he, like, pretty much as soon as I hit that follow button, girl, he was in my DMs, okay? So we start talking. He actually like comes over one night and hangs out with me and my roommates, and his friend came as well. It was so awkward, you guys. Like, after this, I really thought I would never talk to this dude again. I always got made fun of in school for saying again. And then like I taught myself how to not say again, and now I say again. Isn't that weird? Anyway, he comes over that night. It is so freaking awkward. He like asked to talk to me in my room. I don't know what he thought was gonna happen, like with my roommates in the other room and his friend, but he asked to talk to me in my room and we went in there. We were like sitting on the bed, so fucking awkward. I mean, obviously I know what he thought was gonna happen, but like I was not the one, baby girl, not the one. Like my current baby dad, it took us like 4 months to have sex. So that's the vibes. So I don't talk to him for a while after that, but one night, I can't even remember how it happened, but he like texted me randomly and was like, hey, I'm in this town doing work. And remember, he's from Payson. This is like 2 hours, maybe like an hour and a half from the Phoenix Valley. So he's like, I'm in town, I'm in this town. And I was like, oh, like my parents literally live there. Like, okay, cool, like let's hang out. So we hung out that night. It was still kind of awkward. Like we just like didn't really have compatible personalities. So I really don't know how we ended up dating. He was a Gemini and I fucking hate Geminis. Like as a Libra, I just don't get along with Geminis at all. Obviously not all Geminis, but like I just feel like our signs are not that compatible. Maybe just in men also. I don't think that's true with Gemini women. So for any of my Gemini girlies, I love you. Honestly, at this time, I think I was just lonely. So that's why I was like hanging out with him and I just like wanted to be with somebody. I had been single for quite a while up until that point. Like I had only had like little flings and stuff. We start dating pretty much instantly. He was literally living in a storage facility, like in a storage unit in Payson, and like basically homeless. He had just gotten out of a relationship with his ex-wife. I don't know if they were ever actually married. I really don't know. He told me so many lies. I have no idea. I didn't even get into all this detail in the TikTok story time. But basically how it happened was one day he was like, hey, can you pick me up in Payson? And I had a car. So I was like, sure. I go to pick him up. Y'all, he was packing up his storage unit. Like he was moving in. Didn't even discuss it with me. Like literally I told him like, yeah, you can stay with me for a few days. I had roommates at this point. Like they did not like him. They were like, this dude is bad news. Like we don't want him here. But he was like, all right, like I'm moving in. Like literally had his stuff packed up. Like if that's not a narcissist, I don't know what is. Like not even asking the person. So I thought he was coming for like a couple days, but he was, like I said, packing everything up. So I was like, okay, I'm such a people pleaser, and I'm like in certain situations, like really scared to stand up for myself. Whoops, that's a problem that I definitely have. Crap, I wanted to use my new O. Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream. I'm still gonna use it. So I was like, okay, like we're just gonna have to figure something out, because like I said, my roommates did not like him. So I was like, okay, after a couple days, like I'll just tell him like get lost, basically, you know, like I'll let him stay the couple days like we discussed, and then I'll just tell him to leave. Well, that did not happen, obviously. This is so embarrassing, because most of the embarrassingness is on my part, like just for allowing all this to happen. So basically he started living with me. My roommates did not like this dude, like, and also just the fact like they didn't sign up to live with this random dude. Like obviously hindsight is 2020. In the moment I was like, why are they so mad? Like they have their boyfriends over all the time. Like that's what I thought at the time, but I was also using during this time. I was not sober, and I was hiding it from this dude. Like it was just a whole mess. I was hiding it from my roommates. So my thinking was not clear during this time. So if my roommates are watching, I would just like to apologize. I feel like I have apologized, but probably like wasn't sincere because I was still using. But like genuinely, I feel so bad about this, because obviously like bringing an inmate, like that's not a normal thing. You know, like in my world it is, but like in normal people's world, it's not. Like you don't just bring an inmate into your home to live with you with your roommates. You know what I mean? Not that being an inmate should be like the only part of your personality. Like people should get to know you for you, but this dude just wasn't a good dude. So it was just bad news. After a while, I realized like I either have to kick this dude out and like he's gonna go back to Payson, or I move. So I decided to move. I was also going through a very personal time in my life, a very hard time that I'm not going to get into in this video, but I just felt like I wanted to get out of that house. Like I wanted to continue this relationship, which was not the right thing to do, obviously, but like I said, hindsight is 2020. And I just wanted to get out of that house. I was renting this house out, and I was then renting out the rooms. So that's how we came to be living in this house. So it was 3 of us in the house. I decided to rent out my room, and that I would just go move into my own apartment with this dude. I know. You guys, I asked him probably 30 times if he was sure that he wanted to do this, like if he was ready to have a whole ass lease. Like, by the way, I was not taking the lease out in his name. It was just my name. So I was like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, are you sure? Are you positive? He's like, yes, like I will pay rent. Like it's not an issue, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. Remember when I met him, he was working. So I thought like he always worked. Okay. I thought that was just like he had a job. No, this was a very unstable job. I'm talking as soon as he moved in with me, all of a sudden he no longer had work. All of a sudden his boss said, sorry, we don't have work anymore. Nothing to do. He was like doing construction stuff. You told me you had a stable job, and now all of a sudden you don't have work? Like, what do you mean? Obviously that's just the narcissist in him, like completely using me and manipulating me. I found this out after we had already moved in together, that he didn't actually have a stable job. So anyway, we're living together in this apartment. Everything is going okay. Like I said, we weren't like super compatible. So, and he just like wasn't a nice person. Like he really wasn't. He was very moody. Like he would go off over the smallest things. Like I asked him to turn off the heated blanket he was sleeping with one night, because I was literally sweating, like I was dying. And you guys, he flipped the fuck out. Took the heated blanket, went and slept on the bathroom floor all night. I was begging him to just get back in the bed. Just get back in the bed. No, like it was insane. This dude was fucking crazy. So anyway, we had been living together for probably a few months at this point when we were doing laundry one night, and we had like a little laundry facility. We had a little app on your phone that would like start the laundry machine, and mine like wasn't working. So I had shared it to him, and somehow when he like opened the app up, it like brought up that like little share thing that shows you all the people that like you talk to the most. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. It's like an iPhone thing. I don't know if it's an Android thing as well. But basically like the little share thing will pop up all the people that you talk to the most often. When this popped up, a bunch of girls were listed. And I was like, okay, like who the hell are these girls? Like we're like full blown dating at this point. At first he was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like you're literally insane. Like I have literally no idea what you're talking about. I don't even know who these people are. Like just trying to completely manipulate me to see if that would work first. Obviously it didn't. I was like, no, like I'm not stupid. Like you're using my phone, by the way. He was using my spare phone. So I'm like, this is an iPhone. I know how it works. Like, what? So eventually he basically says, yeah, I'm talking to these women and it's no big deal because it's just flirting. Like I'm not actually physically cheating on you. It's just flirting. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like we're in a relationship. Like we're dating. Like, what do you mean that's okay? It's not okay. And at some point he even said that if I did the same thing to him, that he would not like that. So that's the type of dude that this dude was. He eventually tells me that like he deserves to talk to other women because he's on the up and up and he's gonna become famous because of the show and like everybody loves him, so he should be able to date whoever he wants. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, but like then let's break up. And of course he didn't like that, didn't want to break up. Wonder why? Because I was housing him, homeless, duh. We get in a huge fucking fight that night. We're back in the apartment at this point. I like left my clothes. Like I didn't even put the fucking detergent in them because I'm like chasing this dude all over the complex. We're fighting. Like it's craziness. Eventually we make it back into the apartment and I asked to see his phone. And at first he's like, fuck you. Like no way. And I was like, then get the hell out. Like I either see your phone right now without you fucking touching it, or you can leave this apartment right now. He gives me the phone and he says all I can look at is Instagram, of course, okay. I immediately pull up his messages and he was talking to his ex-girlfriend. You guys, when I pulled up these messages, they were like, basically her crying, saying like, why are you doing this to me? Like you're with another woman while we're still together. Like, basically just saying like they're still dating, like why are you with this woman? So I thought they were like 100% broken up, you know, like obviously I didn't think they were still together. He told me that they had been broken up for a while actually. I told him to get the fuck out because he was obviously talking to another woman. So I'm like, okay, like you're having a double relationship right now. Like you're dating both of us right now. Like that's insane. Like that's not fair to us. I understand that you want to be with whoever you want to be with because you think you're going to be famous and like you deserve to have this moment in your life with all these women. That's fine. I totally get it. No, that's fine, but get the fuck out of my house. Okay. So eventually he left. He didn't want to, but eventually he left. I think he took some of his stuff that night. And by the way, I had been sleeping with my purse underneath my bed and I thought like that was enough. It wasn't. Now I actually sleep with it completely under my pillow. Like I don't even fuck around like that anymore. By the way, when all of this was happening and I kicked him out, he would not leave me my key. So eventually I just told him to leave. I go to bed, I put my purse underneath the bed like normal and I go to sleep. He comes in while I'm sleeping. Yes, while I'm sleeping and takes every single dollar in my purse. You guys, I was bartending at this point, so I had like 900, I think it was like 960 in my bag, okay? That was all I had. Like remember, I was using during this time, so I did not have any extra money, like it wasn't like that. So anyway, I wake up in the morning, I start getting ready for work, and I noticed my money's gone, and I was like, what the hell? Like I just counted it yesterday. That's how I knew how much was in there. Also, I had just counted it the night before because I was gonna go pay my rent. I text him, I'm like, hey, like, can we meet up? I didn't want to tell him that I knew my money was gone yet because I knew he wouldn't give it to me. So I'm like, hey, can we please meet up? Can we talk? At first he's like, no, fuck you, like you kicked me out. And I was like, no, please, like I'm sorry, can we please talk? Eventually I spilled the beans that I knew that he had stolen my money because I just can't keep quiet like that because I'm an idiot. But eventually I got him to like meet me at a park or something. And he got in the car. I was like, dude, like that's all my money. Like I asked you multiple times if you wanted to do this with me, like if you wanted to be in this apartment with me, if you wanted to live here, you said yes. Like I can't pay my rent without that money, okay? Like I have that money and then the next couple days to make whatever else. And by the way, my rent was like $1,500. So I still had a ways to go to make my entire rent. So I was like begging him, like, please dude, like I have nothing. Like that is all of the money to my name. Please don't do this to me right now. We had just moved in. Like I don't want to have to get an eviction. Like then I'm not gonna be able to find a place to live. So at this point he is telling me, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Like I didn't take your money. You are insane. Like I can't believe you would accuse me of something like that. I would never do that to somebody. Like you know the fucking drill, okay? Like making me feel crazy. Eventually he admits to taking $40. So he goes in his pants and takes out $40 and he's like, here, you can have it back. I was like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Where's the other fucking $900? Like, what do you mean $40? So he wouldn't admit it. I started driving around. So I was like, okay, let's get out of this park. Like we're gonna get in trouble. because we're like screaming at each other in a family park. There's a bunch of families all over the place. So we start driving around. We are now at a stoplight, you guys, a stoplight. He hops out of the car, okay? I'm just not in my right mind at this point. So this is a very embarrassing part of the story on my part. I hop out of the car with him, don't put my car in park. Like, we were at a stoplight where it was very flat, so my car was just sitting there. I start chasing after him. You guys, while all this is happening, my car is slowly going into the intersection. Like, people are honking. I'm chasing after him. I'm grabbing onto the back of his shirt. He's a small dude. I said this in the TikTok. I have to add that in there because I just have to. Sorry. Yeah, he's a small dude. So I was like trying to drag him to the car. I was like, no, you are not leaving without giving me my motherfucking money, okay? Like, there's no fucking way. He eventually gets away. I look back behind me and I'm like, fuck, like, I gotta get my car. So I run, I like managed to get the car door open, which was fucking terrifying because it's like moving. If you ever try to get into a car, a moving car, into the door, it's very hard. It's not easy. But thank God it was not moving like super fast. So I was able to get in, I drove away, and I went back to the house. Now you guys, let's just remember this happened like over 2 years ago. So my like details are kind of foggy. I can't remember if this all happened in like 2 days or like a week. I honestly can't remember. But I just know that at this point it was his birthday. Okay, so I don't know if a few days had passed. I really don't remember, but at this point it was his birthday. We had broken up, obviously all that shit happened. I'm just like chilling in the house. He comes back to the apartment and is trying to like reconcile with me. You guys, I had gifts like already wrapped and ready to go for him from like, you know, because I didn't think we were gonna break up. He comes into the house, because remember, he still had a key at this point, so he was just like coming in whenever the fuck he wanted to. He comes into the house. I'm telling him to get the fuck out. He won't leave. He starts tearing open all of his gifts, and I'm like, bro, like, you are not taking that shit. Like, put that fucking shit down. Like, you are not taking the gifts that I spent my money on when you have my money in your fucking pocket. By the way, at this point, I had already talked to his girlfriend, wife, ex-girlfriend, whatever the fuck she was. I had already talked to her on the phone multiple times. She sent me text messages. This dude was like, I'm just living with this girl for a place to stay. Like, I'm never gonna pay rent. Like, she doesn't know this, but like, I'm never gonna help her with shit. Like, I just want a place to stay. Like, the whole fucking nine. So at this point, I'm over it. I'm like, get the fuck out of my life. Like, I don't even care anymore. She told me how he was arrested for like abusing her and abusing other women, beating her kid and shit. Like, this dude was awful, okay? Awful. She showed me like all his prior arrests for domestic violence. So at this point, like I said, I was like, stay out of my life. Like, I don't want anything to do with you. Wait, I was doing my mascara. He comes in, tries to open up all the packages, and I'm like, get the fuck out. During this time, he was being such a narcissist that he was again saying, I can be with whoever I want. I can be with whatever woman I want. If I want 2 bitches, then I can have 2 bitches, and you guys just have to deal with it. Like, I want both of you. I don't want to choose. This is what this dude is saying, okay? He tells me that he is so great that he should be up there with Tupac and Biggie if people would just give him a chance. He should be up there with Tupac and Biggie. I'm sorry, what? Like, this dude was a narcissist. I'm telling you, this dude was fucking crazy. God, I'm like not doing my makeup in order because I'm so distracted. So anyway, I tell him to leave. He wouldn't leave. So eventually I call the cops and they come. He ran out of the house at this point, but I was like, you guys need to find him. Like, he has my house key. He won't stop coming to the house. Like, you guys need to find this dude. So I realized that I had location services connected to my 2 phones and he was still using my phone. He wouldn't give it back. So I realized that I can see where he is. I opened up the location thing and he is still in the complex, dumbass. And I just couldn't tell where because there was like 3 floors, I think, or maybe just 2. But there was multiple floors, so I couldn't tell like exactly where he is. So we're like trying to figure it out. I'm with the cops. Eventually, I see him just sitting up on the 2nd floor staring at us. Like, what a fucking weirdo. So I'm like, oh, there he is. Like, go get his ass. So they go get him. Like, they cuff him. I don't know if he was like actually arrested, but all I know is that they were like, all right, what can we do to like resolve this issue? Like, what do you need from him? What does he need from you? And I was like, I want my phone and my house key. That's all I want. I will give him all of his shit back, his old phone. I will give him whatever he wants. I just want those 2 things. I'm pretty sure I told him I wanted my money back as well. But at this point, his ex-girlfriend or girlfriend, wife, whatever, told me that he had offered her some money when that all happened. So I'm pretty sure like it was already gone by that point. So we made a deal to exchange his stuff for my house key and my phone. He actually even put up a fight about that. He was like, I'm not giving the phone back. I'm like, that's literally my phone. Like, I can prove it. I have the receipt. Like, that's my phone. He eventually gives it back. I give him all his stuff. And after that, I never spoke to him again. Not until August of this year, he actually texted me. I'll put it up on the screen. I'm gonna try and remember word for word, but I'm gonna put it up on the screen so you guys can see it. Basically, he texted me, was like, hey, I said, who is this? He told me who it was. I said, leave me alone, or like, leave me the fuck alone or something. And then I stopped responding to him, and then he sent me like a question mark, said, what the fuck? And then he told me I won a dispo in Chicago. I won $100,000 at a dispo in Chicago or something like that. And I was like, okay, great. Like, so you can give me my money back, the $900 you stole from me, you can give it back. He tells me, yeah, I'll help you out. What do you mean you're gonna help me out? You stole my fucking money. What do you mean help me out? Like, that's insane. You don't help people out with the money that you stole from them. Like, that's not a thing. Like, that's paying them back. And then he says something along the lines of, I'll be in touch, sexy. Like, dude, if you plan to pay me back or help me out, you would have sent it then and there. Like, shut the fuck up. He was obviously on some scam shit. Like, I do not believe for a second that he won $100,000. I think he was just trying to see like what he could get out of me, or like see if he could scam me or some shit. After that, I blocked him. I was like, this is just stupid. Like, it's not even worth it. So I blocked him, and I have not spoken to him since. And that was such a crazy relationship. Like, you guys, he was straight up playing both of us at the same time. Like, I ended up, after that day where I called the cops, I talked to his girlfriend on the phone for probably like 3 hours. I mean, the shit that he was saying to her, like, just insane. Like, I would drop him off to like go to those temp agencies to make like $100 in a day and like do construction work, because that's like basically the only time he would work. He would do that like once a fucking month. He immediately texted his wife, ex-wife, whatever she is, hey, can you come pick me up? Like, I'm supposed to be going to work, but like Grace is going to work too, so we can have the day together. Like, literally, I'm dropping him off to go work so he can help me with rent, and he's texting this girl like, hey, let's hang out. I'm not gonna go to work. Like, I'm gonna skip going to work. Which was insane, because I even remember him texting me that day like, I'm not going to work. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to work. I shouldn't have to work. Like, I'm gonna be famous. Like, that is literally what this dude thought. And where is he now? Anyway, once the spell is broken, like, it's broken for me. Like, once I heard all that shit that he was saying to that other girl, and that he was cheating on me with multiple people, I was like, dude, like, I don't even want to be with you anymore. Like, I don't even want to talk to you anymore, let alone be with you. After I find something like that out, like, it's like the rose-colored glasses come off. Like, I just am totally disconnected at that point. Honestly, getting over him was basically like a little cry for like 5 minutes with his girlie on the phone, and then I never thought about him again after that. So until now. But yeah, it was a very, very interesting time in my life, as you can imagine. And I'm just so thankful I was only with him for a few short months, because this dude was like a grade A narcissist, you guys. Like, the things that would come out of his mouth, just like the grandiosity and like thinking that he was on top of the world, that he was God's gift to this earth. But yeah, that's the story time of how I dated an inmate from 60 Days In. Let me know if you guys like these type of videos. Comment, like, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, and I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you later.